Today on Darth Gerald.
In the last episode, I talked about Luke Skywalker and how the dark side was already present, even without his knowledge, mostly because he didn't truly understand the Force. In this episode, I'll talk about Luke as a maturing Force user. Don't forget to subscribe.
Do it.
And hit the thumbs up.
Do it.
To support my channel. And stick around until the end to see how you could win a Star Wars Funko Pop figure. Like I said, most fans get really defensive when I talk about Luke Skywalker being deeper than just a great hero, more than all good. How easily could Luke have been turned to the dark side? I don't think persuasion was a factor. If he had been left alone to learn the growing force within him, he probably would have turned to the dark side on his own. His trial with his first fight against Darth Vader is over. Luke lost his hand, and Darth Vader revealed the truth of Anakin Skywalker, Luke's father. He was beaten. He was unable to help his friends, and if not for Leia, he would have surely died dangling from the structure beneath Cloud City.
Hear me. Leia.
No. We've got to go back.
With a severe questioning of his identity and all his great loss in the fight, Luke gets involved in an elaborate plan to free his friend Han Solo from Jabba the Hutt and the bounty hunter Boba Fett, which takes him back to his home planet of Tatooine. I know everything I said in my last video could be attributed to naivety, as Luke was not yet developed in the Force. However, this is where the tenderizer hits the meat. Luke gains access to the entry of Jabba's palace. He is stopped by two pig-faced guards, Gamorrean guards. The two guards are to stop unwanted visitors from getting to Jabba. Force choke is a skill learned by dark side users, Sith. Where did he learn this? Surely Master Yoda didn't teach it to him. So he makes his way to his next obstacle before meeting Jabba himself, Jabba's servant, a Twi'lek named Bib Fortuna. He easily does a mind trick on him and gets Bib to take him to Jabba.
I must speak with Jabba. You will take me to Jabba now.
Jabba is sleeping when approached by Bib. Jabba recognizes the mind trick as a Jedi power and calls Bib Fortuna a weak-minded fool. Luke tries to mind trick on Jabba with no luck. Jabba is not weak-minded. Luke tries negotiating and Jabba laughs at him. Luke spins around. Force pulls a blaster from a nearby thug, and the blaster bolts get diverted into the ceiling. Wham! Bam! Luke is in the Rancor pit. Let's back up a bit. Anakin Skywalker, Luke's father, the man with more dark side than most good Jedi, also had dealings with Jabba. Although he understood Jabba was a thug and wanted to declare war on the Jedi, Anakin did not try to assassinate him. Luke did. Okay. I'm sure Luke knew the negotiations wouldn't end well, but to try to assassinate someone, this is not the Jedi way. Some argue that it was just a ruse to provoke Jabba into capturing him as well so he could work from the inside. My point is, why was this part even added to the plan? Because the assassination was Plan A. A dark plan. A plan to kill Jabba. Even though paying him off probably would have freed his friends. Again, assassination? That isn't the Jedi way. Even Anakin Skywalker knew this. Moving along. Luke kills Jabba's Rancor pet named Patissa. I'm not joking, that was her name. At this point, it seems Luke enjoys killing animals. With Patissa, the Rancor, the Wampa, and talking about shooting womp rats for fun, he has the makings of a psychopath. Good thing he's a good guy. Anyways, they all get taken to the Sarlacc to be executed. One thing leads to another. Luke frees his friends and Leia kills Jabba. Killing Jabba was part of the plan all along. After the rescue is over, Luke separates from his friends again and goes back to Dagobah to complete his training with Yoda. Finally. I mean, it's only been like 5 years since he made the promise. Speaking of, where did Luke gain his training in the meantime? How did he become so powerful? Because the darkness grows in him. As Yoda lay, preparing for his unity with the Force, Luke asks him,
Is Darth Vader my father?
Rest I need. Yes. Rest.
Yoda, I must know.
Your father is.
You can see Luke is conflicted. He knows Leia was tortured by Vader, so much so that she despised him. Luke understands Yoda is fading, so he doesn't display his anger with Yoda for the lies he was told. Enters Obi-Wan Kenobi, or rather, the Force ghost of Obi-Wan Kenobi. He asks Obi-Wan the question.
Obi-Wan. Why didn't you tell me? You told me Vader betrayed and murdered my father.
Your father was seduced by the dark side of the Force. He ceased to be Anakin Skywalker and became Darth Vader.
Obi-Wan tells Luke he has to face and defeat Vader. Luke protests.
You must face Darth Vader again.
I can't kill my own father.
Then the Emperor has already won.
Luke feels there is still good in him, but Vader feels Luke can be turned to the dark side. So Vader senses the darkness within Luke as much as Luke senses the light within Vader. Maybe Luke can't defeat Vader because of his own pull to the darkness. Luke rejoins his friends, with the rebel fleet amassing near Sullust. A strike team is being put together to go down to the forest moon of Endor and take down the energy shield that protects the second Death Star. Luke volunteers to be on Han's crew. Han has now been promoted to general.
My team's ready. I don't have a command crew for the shuttle. That's gonna be rough, pal. I didn't want to speak for you. That's one.
General, count me in.
I'm with you too.
Before boarding the shuttle, Luke and the crew were notified that the Emperor himself is overseeing the final phase of the Death Star's construction. The Death Star. They will be communicating with it to land safely on Endor. As they pass, Luke feels Vader's presence.
Vader's on that ship. I'm endangering the mission. I shouldn't have come.
Shall I hold? No. Leave them to me.
Vader allows them to land anyway. Once on the moon, Luke and Leia get involved in a high-speed speeder bike chase through the forest. They get separated, then reunited as Luke, Han, and Chewie are about to become dinner for the Ewoks that found Leia. Instead, the Ewoks cut them loose and befriend them. Luke talks to Leia. By this time, he knows she is his sister. Luke tells her about being siblings and Vader is their father. He explains he has to go to him and try to turn him to the light. Defeating the Emperor was not his original goal. Defeating Vader or turning him to the light was. He could have fought Vader right there, so why go with him willingly? His subliminal, or not so subliminal, pull to the dark side. His curiosity.
A Jedi uses the Force for knowledge and defense, never for attack.
In the Emperor's throne room, the Emperor antagonizes Luke, pokes at him, pushes his buttons to see what will trigger the anger he feels inside of him. He knew how to turn Anakin, and Luke should be little different. Finally, Luke gets mad, spins, Force pulls his lightsaber to him, and tries to strike the Emperor down. another assassination attempt. Not to mention, this is at least the 4th time Luke has used his weapon for attack. He draws first in nearly every fight he is in. Vader raises his own lightsaber just in time to block Luke's. The fight ensues, both are powerful, and Vader gains the upper hand and Luke hides in the shadows. Vader senses Luke's thoughts and feelings.
Yes. Your thoughts betray you. Your feelings for them are strong. Especially for... sister. So, you have a twin sister.
He pushes Luke over and over to the point Luke snaps, aggression, anger, to the point Vader can barely block the attacks. Hit after hit, Luke is beating his fallen father. Just as Luke cuts off Vader's hand and is about to deal the final blow to end him, the Emperor applauds. Luke snaps out of it, looks at his father's missing hand, then at his own gloved hand, and throws down his lightsaber. He tells the Emperor that he has failed, that he will not turn to the dark side, and that he is a Jedi like his father before him. A volley of blue lightning hits Luke from the Emperor's fingers.
Now, young Skywalker, you will die.
Luke cries out for his father's help. Vader picks up the Emperor and chucks him down a reactor shaft, seemingly ending the Emperor. He gathered up his father, took him to the moon as the Death Star exploded, and burned him on a pyre. Luke had not turned to the dark side, but rather pulled Anakin back to the light and freed him. Much can be said about this. Luke seemed curious about the forbidden dark side since he learned of the Force. He constantly disobeyed his teachers. He was always angry, whiny, and impatient. He drew his weapon first at least 4 times that we know of. He could have fought Vader on Endor and been finished with his mission. Instead, he chose to go with Darth Vader to meet the Emperor, where Luke should have known he would be overpowered if the two decided to gang up on him. He admitted his father was truly dead and still went. Not for an assassination attempt, but rather out of curiosity. He attempted to assassinate and used Force choke, all because of his roots in the dark side of the Force. Thank you for watching this video. I will have one more about Luke Skywalker in the future. If you like this video, don't forget to give a thumbs up.
Do it.
Please don't forget to subscribe.
Do it.
To see more content as it becomes available. Also, if you subscribe and leave a comment
Do it.
as to why you like Star Wars, you'll be automatically entered to win a Star Wars Funko Pop figure after I reach 100 subscribers. Thank you, and may the Force be with you always.